Let's talk about art of dialogue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he started doing video, I guess, during the pandemic, like 2020 is when he started doing on-camera interviews with
Okay.
guests. You've been pretty outspoken about how you feel he's borrowed from your channel, I guess is a way to
I
put it.
never said that he's borrowed. I've never disparaged the work that he's put out.
Right.
I felt that he's done good interviews with interesting people. Like he got Tupac's dad,
Mm-hmm.
someone I'd been trying to get for a while, but he managed to,
Yeah.
to get that interview, and I salute him for doing that. My only thing has always been that the look of the thumbnails was just way too similar
Yeah.
to what our thumbnails look like. He used the exact same font, the same font size, the way it's laid out. He starts out the interview with the same, all right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
He has a different voice than mine, I understand that, but I felt like, you know, that right there, those two things right there create a sense of confusion with the audience where I have gotten multiple angry phone calls from people saying, why did you interview so and so and talk about this shit? I thought we were cool. And it's like, not my interview.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even put a logo on the thumbnail. You see what I'm saying? Like, we put our logo on everything, but
Yeah.
it's usually small. So it's like, if it looks the same and there's no logo, you would think that it's our shit. So that's the only thing I've ever had a problem with. His name is Art, right?
Yeah.
Is that it sets up a level of confusion with the audience where they think it's our shit,
Mm-hmm.
which ultimately has a backlash for me sometimes. Put art of dialogue in big letters on your thumbnails,
Yeah.
or in small letters. Use a slightly different font. I mean, I can't say that because it's a font and it's a public font.
Right.
But just, I'm not disparaging his work. I'm just saying that, and I think he knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's an accident because he would have switched it at one point. Is that I think that he sort of said, okay, Vlad has this following for this type of thing. I'm going to go ahead and do a similar type of content and, kind of piggyback on what Vlad is doing a little bit by making some people think that this is actually Vlad's when they click on it. And that's the only part that I don't like. But at the end of the day, it's whatever. It's not any sort of real beef or anything else like that. And I've always said that I think that he does good work and he has a good production, value and everything else like that. And I think at one point we should probably just have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
I don't think he doesn't do interviews himself, so
No.
I don't think he's ever spoken on it. And some people say that I'm hating on the new generation. Not in the least. I've never done that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at my whole history. In fact, I have always brought in younger content creators. I've always brought them into my platform to interview them to try to uplift their platform. Mm-hmm. And then I've always done interviews on their platform as well to try to help them out. Charlemagne, Academics, Math Hoffa, Sean Cotton from Say Cheese, whoever. The list goes on and on and on and on and on of people that I've always supported and so forth. And I feel what he's doing is dope. I feel like what he is getting good interviews, and we sometimes look at his channel for ideas of guests that we should bring in. We brought in Charlie Baltimore recently, and I looked at some of his interviews when trying to formulate questions, which I'm sure he does with me also. Yeah. There's enough, but my point is there's enough room for all of us to flourish without us trying to somehow copy each other and try to trick viewers into thinking that it's really, like if I had a show called The Breakfast Club with two B's at the end, and people thought that, it's really The Breakfast Club when they click on it, only to find out it isn't, I think The Breakfast Club would feel some type of way. And that's my only thing. And I think that people have tried to frame it as the Vlad's hating on him, and I'm not. All I'm saying is just have it look a little bit different than mine, so people don't think that it's mine. Because I think that he has enough of a following and enough of a level of, quality behind what he does to stand on his own at this point. Maybe in the beginning he didn't, but at this point I feel like he does. So I would hope at one point that he switches up, but maybe really I'm just, maybe I should just switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Or something if I really want to differentiate myself. It's whatever. It's not a big deal, and it's not a real beef on any level. And this is coming from someone who's had real beef with people, in the past. And I don't consider him as one of those. Yeah. So shout out to Art, and honestly, congratulations to what he pulled off, because taking a YouTube channel from 0 followers to, I think he's like approaching 1 million or something like that is not
I
easy
think
to
it's
do.
like 400.
Okay,
400K?
so
Yeah.
even 400 is not an easy task.
No.
You know, very, you know, maybe 1% of YouTubers is able to get to that number. Maybe even, really worldwide, maybe even like 1/10 of 1%. Be able to get to that point, and he's gotten to that point, so I'm happy for him. You know, but just find your own, you know, find your own style and find your own imaging. And I think ultimately it'll help him even more to do that, because then people will start, you know, thinking about art of dialogue more than like Vlad TV.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.